All right, greetings, family. This is Professor Griff, and of course, y'all already know this is the masses. I mean, as y'all already know, should know by now. If you don't, make sure you find out, which you're knowing right now, and pass it on to three other people that we are on every Monday and Wednesday at 12 noon. All right. Julissa116 says, I'm here on the check-in for real. All right, Rich Rising. All right. Great and grand rising. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. All right. Like I said, every Monday and every Wednesday at 12 noon. We are here in the building. And I think something is going on with my broadcast. I'm not sure, but we're going to push forward and have somebody work that out on the other end. All right. Nope. I think it's happening now. Yeah. All right. Internet moving kind of slow, and I think everything is falling in place right now. Let me see if I can get my ticker tape up. All right. We in business. All right. Once again, peace. This is Professor Griff. Of course, y'all already know. I know y'all know now. This is the masses, and everyone have to the masses. Is not only my responsibilities, not only Kalanji's responsibility, or those people at Black Power Media's responsibility to arm the masses. It's all of our responsibility to arm the masses so the masses will know. The day and age of individualism has to end. It has to end. It has to end. You're not an individual in this particular situation. We all have to look out for one another, all right? Thus giving birth to the whole idea of people's power. Power to the people, all right? All power to all of the people. All right, with that said, today's topic, we're going to be talking about the whole idea of the question that I asked after a conversation I had yesterday, which I'll give you insight on that conversation, is can voting eradicate racism? Can voting eradicate racism? Can voting eradicate racism? All right. If you want the research for, damn, somebody just said no. All right, capital R fun. We're going to dive into that. I didn't even get a chance to get it out. And someone already said no. All right. Anyway, okay, let's dive into this. So the idea now of voting your way into prosperity, voting your way into freedom, voting your way into liberation, voting your way, voting your way anywhere. I'm just going to lay that out. Where has the voting ever advanced Black people? To some degree, and I may be at fault for this, being very transparent, to some degree, the voting has done something. That's something I probably can't articulate right now, simply because I'd have to do some research and get some stats, put some numbers in front of you to validate my claim. But if I am 1,000% incorrect, please correct me. What has the voting done for Black people? All right? And this is not my slick way of just touching your nerves to develop some kind of conversation today. That's not my point. It's not my objective. If nothing else, with the Voting Rights Bill, it galvanized Black people to understand the importance of what the schemes and machinations of this particular government has up their sleeve in reference to tricking Black people, to make Black people think that we've gained some things when we really haven't. They'll probably give us some things, and then in the next few years or the next administration, we'll take all of those particular things back. So if we're stuck in a quagmire to the point where we think that one of the options to get free and to get liberated, all right, is voting. You let me know. According to the conversation that I had yesterday with this particular individual, and I'm sure he doesn't mind me going over this. I'm not going to mention his name. Of course, I would never do that. He knows that. I'm not even going to mention his name that he uses online. I'll let you guys figure that out. He sent me up, I guess he just put this out there. As a matter of fact, it came directly to me, so I see some other people are tagged in it. Black people have never had 100% voting participation in this country. The main reason is voter apathy and voter suppression. Voter apathy and voter suppression. Okay. Many feel that voting will not change our condition. We are truly misinformed to trust that notion. So I guess I'm one of the ones that's truly misinformed to trust the notion that the fact that voting will change our condition, which I don't think it won't. It hasn't before, but I could be wrong. We are truly misinformed to trust that notion. Racism and white supremacy are political creations, and the only way to make any changes to them is by voting. Period. Need I read that last part again? I need you to kind of stop typing right now and pay attention to what I'm saying, unless you're good at multitasking. All right. Racism and white supremacy. So he is making a difference between the two, differentiating between the two. I had to pull that one from somewhere. I'm not sure. He's differentiating between the two, racism and white supremacy. I say, sir, you're absolutely incorrect on that part. It's racism, white supremacy. Racism is white supremacy. According to your own words, if racism, white supremacy is a political creation, that is also incorrect also. If it's a political creation, then it's not racism and white supremacy. White supremacy is racism. So it's racism, white supremacy. Okay, racism and white supremacy are political creations, and the only way, I'm gonna underline only way, I'm gonna put it in a bold font. I put parentheses around it, put a smiley face at the end of it. Is the only way, this particular gentleman says, to make any changes to them is by voting. Period. You are absolutely dead ass wrong. I gave there's a lot more. This shit read like a damn dissertation. There's a lot more, and I guess if I have time, I'll dive back into it, which I don't mind. But the conversation I had yesterday and the example that I gave that I thought was very profound, very simplistic, very bumper sticker-ish, very t-shirt worthy. I said, the spider who spins the web in the wee hours of the morning when we're all asleep and we only wake up to find ourselves in the web as the fly and the mosquito and any other insect that dare to follow that path or to enter into that particular arena. The spider spins the web. The fly, the mosquito, all the other insects get caught in the web and then decide to have a conversation about their plan to vote their way out of the spider's web is ludicrous and absolutely nonsensical and BS. You will never, ever, 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 as Malcolm X and other people have said, how are you going to fight against the same person that designed the system to find your way out of the system? A lot of people have said, and they still do, in order for you to defeat the system, I guess, whatever system they trying to defeat, is to be a part of the system. I say you are wrong. Many have tried. Tell me one person that has been successful. Tell me one person that has been successful that went inside of the system to defeat the system, conquered and outmaneuvered the system. Tell me someone. Even the people that were caping and riding for Donald Trump right now, these people being black, all right, we're going to see over the next 4 years how that work out for you. Because at the end of the day, if the Democrats would have won, you still stuck in the spider's web. The Republicans won, and you still stuck in the spider's web. So what the spider does is the spider comes along now, all right, and injects the needle into you. Whatever angle you want to do it on, I don't mind. All right. Shoots an enzyme inside of your body. Dissolves your insides. And then with that same needle sucks your insides out to the point where you will look at the spider's web and you'll think you're still seeing the fly and the mosquito, but no, you're not. You're seeing the outer shell of the spider. I mean, the outer shell of the fly and the mosquito, but the insides are sucked out. That's you. That is you. That is you. You're there. You are outer representation of yourself, going through the motions through the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, thinking that you're an American. All right. And the system is never designed for you to be an American. So guess what? The system is absolutely doing what the system was designed to do in the first place. And this is part of it. So, sir, after reading your long dissertation, you're absolutely incorrect. The system is designed to do what it's exactly designed to do, and you are now part of the system by telling us the only way to eradicate racism, white supremacy, is by voting. Well, voting for who? And you don't think that they have trigger warnings inside of the system? You don't think the mosquito knows? The mosquito could be, the spider could be asleep. And soon as you get caught in the web and start wiggling around, trying to galvanize your people to vote their way out of that spider web, the web moves and it wakes the spider up, and the spider takes his time. It's like, oh man, I got your ass now. Go, and he makes it happen. Am I right or wrong? Talk to me. So I'm saying to you, you are not going to vote your way out of the spider's web. Trust me, you're not. That's just not how the spider's web is designed. The spiders, even the web itself, is designed that when you step on it, it latches onto you and it does not let go. It'll make you part of the web to make you think that you're a part of the system. And it may even throw you a couple of trinkets. It'll give you the nice, fine home somewhere in the suburbs with the updated car and with the updated cell phone, with the updated Brooks Brothers suit and the Kenneth Cole shoes and that kind of thing. It'll even give you rights and privilege to certain little clubs that you could belong to. It will give you your 401k. It'll give you the timeshare where you can get you a summer home somewhere in the Hamptons. It'll give you all of that. You're still caught in the web. So at the end of my conversation yesterday with this particular individual, I said, listen, they could change their system tomorrow. They said, you know something? Forget all this voting stuff. We're not going to do the voting thing no more. That's just too dangerous. We can't vote these peasants in to run our corporation. We can't trust them now. They've caught on to that game. So we're going to change this whole thing up. We're not going to vote no more. And guess what, sir? We got to start all over again because that's his system, not ours. I'm still waiting for y'all to answer my first question. What individual do you know that was part of the system that say that they're going to change the system from within? Reconstruct the spider web. Reconstruct the molecular structure on how the spider is even designed for its survival. You're going to go in and reconstruct that for your benefit? You out your damn mind. You're out of your mind. You are out of your mind. That's not the way this thing works. It's not the way it works. What individual do you know that said they was going to change the system from within and actually was successful? Brother man had me waking up this morning, rolling over in the bed, snatching my laptop. Facebook user said, Nelson Mandela, stop the blood clot crying. The man spent 27 years in prison, being drugged every day. Facebook user, whoever you are, stop. Stop, man. Seriously, whoever you are, just stop that. But anyway, like I was saying, had me rolling over in the bed this morning, grabbing the laptop, having to figure this kind of thing out. And I'm like, so I went digging up I got like a couple of shelves over here of research material that I've bound myself. I started looking at conspiracy theories, stuff that I had bound up. I started looking at, where's the cover of this thing? I started going over the whole idea of the voting process. When I got downstairs, wagged the dog. This is my deep research right here. I mean, I got like about 40 of these because that's how, to what degree I was doing my research. The complicity of the Democrats in the Bush win. I could go on to past elections or selections, as I call them. I could go over. And I was right before, family. Someone gave me the wrong information. It was Diebold. Diebold was the company I was thinking about, because this just says computer voting is fraudulent. Diebold promised Bush a win with the election fraud is treason. All right. So you will vote as you're told. There's a war on, and they have to prosecute a war that's been going on several fronts throughout the globe. All right. So my research was correct. All right. I know they got the wrong picture and the wrong name, but this is what they was doing. I can go back just with this one research book alone. I mean, the black box voting. Bruh, man, had me down here scrambling. I'm like, God damn, I know I done talked about this. I can go on and on and on and on. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, sir, you're absolutely incorrect. The question I asked today for the show, the topic of the show is, can voting eradicate racism? All right. So I'm going to put this aside because, yeah. But just to let you know, I came downstairs in the lab to kind of go over the research to say, okay, well, what do I need to present in order to convince him and the masses of the people that may hear this that the voting is not going to eradicate racism and white supremacy. All right. So listen, if we look at the spider's web, so you can imagine a spider's web, you can draw from the center of the web out. And as it gets a lot wider and wider, you can think of all the other subsystems that are attached to the spider's web. All right. Are you following what I'm saying? Okay, cool. Then in my scramble, I started looking at other information that I bounded together. Okay. So yeah. And judicial decisions, premature calling of the election winners, voting while black, machine shortages, sleepovers, Mighty Texas Strike Force, partisans, secret software programs, you name it, is here. Dirty 30 of the election frauds. You name it. By the way, if anyone wants to research, like I always say, make a donation to Serious Minds and the masses, and I'll get the information to you. All right. Once again, if you want the information, take my number down. 678-557-2919. Somebody put that in the comments for me on IG and on Facebook and YouTube. 678-557-2919. Text me. It may take me a day or so to get this information to you, but I'll get it over to you in a PDF. All right. Now, with that said, let's dive directly into it and answer some of these questions. All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Brother Sean. Anybody over here would mind putting my phone number in on YouTube? Hold on. I think if no one's doing it, I think I can. 2919 Griff. If you want any of the information that I'm presenting, especially what I'm about to present to you in a few minutes, you should text me and let me know. All right. Yeah, the whole idea of the November 4th elections. Now, mind you, this is November 4th every 4 years. And if you read close enough, that this one says what Barack Obama will do. And the plan and the game plan is still the same. They have not changed the game plan. They have not changed the game plan, fam. All right. So just like then there was a question on what was going on in the world, and this time there was a question going on in the world. I believe back then in I'm not sure the particular date, but I'll look it up. Why do we believe Zionists are the masterminds of the September 11th attacks? That was a question. And what was the question this time? The question this time around was the question in reference to Gaza and what's going on in Gaza. All right. And then we started talking about historical elections. What happened in the past? What happened in past elections? All right. So in already doing the research, like I said, there's about 40 of these I have over here. And whatever comes up, I do a deep dive, do the research, put it together, so I'll have it for later on. And this is the reason why, today is the reason why I do this. One of the reasons why I put this kind of information together. All right, so there's always a question. So let's go back and tap into one of our illustrious ancestors, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, in her book, The ISIS Papers. If you are on here right now and you do not have this book and or have heard the audio book, I forgot the brother's name that did the audio book on YouTube. All right. Even if you have the book, go back and listen to the audio of it. All right. To hit the reset, the cultural reset button. All right. Because I'm sure if you're old, if you read this some time ago and you're older now, you have a different kind of thinking. You have a different way of thinking. You have a different way of processing. Go back. The ISIS Papers, The Keys to the Colors, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. In her book, all right, The ISIS Papers, all right, I believe in the prelude, she gives a definition of racism, white supremacy, and it is as follows. All right. Racism, white supremacy is as follows. It's a local and global power system structured and maintained by persons who classify themselves as white, whether consciously or subconsciously determined. This system, the spider's web, all right, consists of this system consists of patterns of perception, logic, symbol formation, thought, speech, action, and emotional response as conducted simultaneously in all areas of people activity. Those areas are economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war, for the ultimate purpose to prevent white genetic annihilation. They have to put the system in place in order to prevent white genetic annihilation. They have to survive on the planet, locally and globally. So they put the system together. There is no way, and I'm going to say this again, and I'm going to reiterate this, no way that you can possibly go into the spider's web and the spider's system to rearrange the system to the degree where it's going to change its outcomes, plural. D1, new old school. New old school, new old school. I got you, bro. All right, all the way from London by way of Jamaica. The Moor, the tribe reporting in. Big ups. Peace. They use everything that Dr. Frances Cress Welsing mentioned in her definition of racism, white supremacy to use. They use this to keep you in the system. We've said it on the last show. Your belief in the system is the thing that keeps the system alive. All right? Then she gives you an idea of the structure of the system, as our good brother Neely Fuller has always done. All right? And we're going to dive into some of Neely Fuller's, a quote from Neely Fuller, and then we're going to dive into something a little bit deeper in just a few minutes. But think about that, family. Let that marinate for a minute. All right? Are y'all looking up Dr. Frances Cress Welsing? Y'all should be doing that right now. All right? Whether you're on your phone, your tablet, or your computer. The ISIS Papers, The Keys to the Colors by Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. And one side note, you ever notice when a woman like this dedicates her life speaking about racism, white supremacy for over 40 years, as soon as she's not physically among us, we tend to forget. And I rarely hear her name mentioned. I rarely hear her work mentioned nowadays. And I think it's sad. One second, fam. All right. I think it's truly sad in a real kind of way, fam. We have to be able to keep those ancestors alive in us by mentioning their names as often as possible. All right. I'm sure you've set up an altar in your house. I'm sure you have. You go to your altar and you consult and ask the ancestors to give you guidance by the permission of the Creator. All right. And we came up with some of these answers. We have to be very diligent in keeping those ancestors alive, all right, who are alive in us and with us, all right? Our ancestors speak to us from within us. Can I hear everyone say that? Our ancestors speak to us from within us. Our ancestors speak to us from within us. All right. Okay. All right. Now, with that said, to us from within us, our ancestors speak to us from within us. Okay, I see the gentleman who's the conversation I had with yesterday has joined us. That's a beautiful thing, sir. Thank you very much for coming on. The question is, I'm asking today, and maybe you can chime in, sir, now that you're here with us. Can voting eradicate racism? And I've gotten an overwhelming majority of the people saying, no, sir, it cannot eradicate racism white supremacy. Not racism and white supremacy. Racism, white supremacy. All right. All right. You can talk to me anytime you'd like to talk to me. So I'm going to read a few things. Anytime you want to chime in, you can chime in. All right. Okay. So, let me see if I could just, let's see if I can show you. I mean, I think I can show you. Hold on. Oh my God. Let me show you this first. So the Negroes, that's not me calling people's names. I'm not doing that. This is what they call themselves. The NAACP. The colored people. They said we defeated racism in 2020. Now we must vote to defeat its aftermath. When did you defeat racism? What happened that they defeated racism? We defeated racism in 2020. Now we must vote to defeat its aftermath. Can y'all talk to me? I mean, seriously, y'all got to talk to me. We defeated racism in 2020. Now we must vote to defeat its aftermath. What is the aftermath of racism? What is the aftermath of racism? And how did you defeat racism in 2020? Would we be mistaken to assume that this November general election pales in comparison to the previous ones? Correct. We defeated racist forces that run counter to its interests of our communities during 2020 presidential election. But we must not forget that this is a dangerous brand of politics is still on the ballot. Did Malcolm X not say the ballot or the bullet? Someone said the Negro double-crossed the colored people. The Negro double-crossed. Wait, hold on, man. I got to put that up, man. That's so profound. Construction Site Media TV. The Negro double-crossed the colored people. That just struck a nerve. I'm sorry. Y'all may not think that's funny, or that may not have meant anything to you, but damn. Anyway, like I was saying, it's up to all of us to exercise our strongest currency, voting. Y'all mind if I sit back on my couch real quick and try to process that nonsense? Our strongest currency is voting? The collective God power, the collective melanated copper energy that's coiled up in our spiritual essence is not greater than voting? Our connection to the Creator is not more powerful than voting? Who we are as a people that have endured all of the madness and everything that they've put on us, and I can name about 40 things that they've put on us, including AIDS, AIDS, Africans in deep shit, all the things they've done to us. You mean to tell me voting is our strongest currency? Please. It's up to all of us to exercise our strongest currency, our right to vote. We defeated racism in 2020. Now, in 2022 and beyond, we must stamp out its continued existence. It is 2024. When did you stamp out racism's existence? When did you stamp out racism's existence? I'm just curious. Please talk to me. During the crucial midterm elections, all 435 seats in the House of Representatives and 35 out of the 100 seats of the Senate seats are contested. The fate of the Congress' entire infrastructure lies solely in the hands of those who decided to show up to the polls and vote. Whoever wrote this, you are absolutely wrong. Your vote does not decide the presidency of the United States of America. That's why there was a differentiation between the electoral votes and the popular vote. Two different things. Two different things. But you see, whoever wrote this article, you didn't think black people was going to catch on to the madness. And you didn't think that we was going to educate ourselves to how this particular trick worked. Because Malcolm taught us how this thing worked before. Many others that have came before us, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan taught us how this thing worked. Many other people that have came. Dr. Francis Cress Wilson taught us. Dr. Amos Wilson. Those that are now ancestors and those that are elders in our community today. Kaba Kwabene, Ashra Kwesi, Mary Rock Kwesi, I could go on. Dr. Leonard Jeffries, Professor James Small, all have educated us and raised the vibrational pitch of our thinking so that we can understand. When Negroes like this take the pen to the pad or step to their computer or their typewriter to give us this madness, and this was the article that I'm reading is in the Crisis Magazine, the official publication of the National Advancement of the Association of Colored People. Negroes wrote this. Our strongest currency is our freedom to vote. No, not at all, mate. No. My Cockney accent? No, not at all. Wow. Our strongest currency is our right to vote. All that we possess as a people. Wow. All those people you mentioned advocate that we use our vote power. They absolutely did not. My phone number is 678-557-2919. You could put some information in the chat right now to show me where. Malcolm said the vote is a political trick. But to say this is our strongest currency, absolutely not. And stop believing the hype. Stop re-quoting some of the madness written by the Negroes that they hire to write this stuff. Now, what was I saying? Oh, here we go. Okay. Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, once again, our now ancestor that gave us the ISIS papers. All right. Voting is one of the weakest currencies. Thank you. As a matter of fact, let me get rid of that. Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, Decoding and Deconstructing the Cultural Logic of White Supremacy by Griff F. Jameson, Ph.D., Assistant Professor, African American Studies Program, University of Alabama, Birmingham. Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. says, if you do not understand racism, white supremacy, what it is and how it works, everything else you think that you understand will only confuse you. Back in 1969. All right. It goes on to talk about Dr. Francis Cress Wilson. Then it goes into the whole idea of the examination of her work. But I want to dive into the point where it talks about cracking the code, the psychological codes and cues to racism, white supremacy. And this is what I want our illustrious brother who sent me that information that I read earlier to understand. All right. Cracking the psychological codes and cues to racism, white supremacy. And I think what's happening with this brother, he's buying into the fact that he still has hope in the system, and he still has belief in a system that he's propping up, to think that the system is going to work for black people as it worked for the same people that designed the system. That is not going to happen. The system was not designed to work for you. It's not designed to work for you. And every gain that you can send to me and show me that black people have gained through voting, I'll show you strategically how white people walked it back and took it back. Thank you. Cracking the psychological codes and cues to racism, white supremacy. Inspired by the work of Neely Fuller, who posed that if you do not understand white supremacy, racism, what it is and how it works, everything else only confuse you. All right. Now, the ISIS papers, the Crest Theory of Color Confrontation, 1974, as a guide to assist people. Hold on. He followed. To assist people of African descent. Let me see if I can make that bigger. I think I can. Will it allow me? Yes, it will. Wellesley and Fuller charged themselves with the task of explaining the unexplainable and making sense out of nonsense. For Wellesley, the ISIS papers, 1991, provided the keys to unlocking the codes of the color complex and begin the process of attempting to understand that the absurdity of white supremacy. Wellesley is in agreement with Fuller, 1969, who kind of presents this whole idea in the notion that it happens in 9 areas of people activity. And in a nutshell, you cannot change the system from within inside of the system. You can give an observation of the system from within inside the system. You can give instructions to those of us that are operating outside the system about the system. You can inform us. Those that are operating on the periphery of the system, you can inform us, yes, but you're not going to change the system in the dynamic of racism, white supremacy by voting. All right? Inside of the 9 area of people activity, it does not talk about voting at all. It talks about politics inside of the context of racism, white supremacy, not outside of the context of racism, white supremacy, inside of the context of racism, white supremacy. So you have racism, white supremacy as an umbrella. Up under racism, white supremacy, you have not only the 9 areas of activity, but maybe a 10th, 11th, and 12th area, health being one of them. So I'm still waiting on the answer to my initial question. Politics is the science of governing people. They have not governed the people via voting. They've lied and tricked the people using the vote. They've governed the people by lies, tricks, deceit, violence. This is why they spend billions of dollars every single year to keep you blind, deaf, and dumb. How much money did they spend on this election? I didn't even get a chance to dive into this cracking the psychology codes and cues of racism, white supremacy. Maybe we'll dive into this some other time. But if you want this research and this information, y'all got my phone number. Hit me up, text me, and I'll make sure I'll get you the information. But voting is one of the tricks that the spider uses. That's intricately tied into the spider. Once you get locked into that mindset, all right, and you spend all your energy and your time galvanizing people to vote, spending $1 billion, 1 billion, not million, billion with a B, $1 billion in 30 days. You had hookers and singers and dancers and jugglers, as Malcolm said. You had rappers and booty shakers and twerkers and sports players and fake politicians and They paid Oprah $1 million. Not to mention what Eminem and Cardi, Flea, and the rest of these other people got paid. And went in debt $20 million. How you do that? How you spend $1 billion and then at the end of the day you still in debt $20 million? What did they pay these fake celebrities? That showed us one thing, sir. It's the door of L. That the celebrities don't have the weight and power that they think they have. That if they spent all of that money to the tune of $1 billion and you still 20 million in debt, come on, man. Come on. I'm still waiting on the answer to my first question. What has the vote even gotten black people? What have we gotten out of the vote? What structural gains? What did it gain us? Can educate Professor Griff. Treat these last few minutes of this broadcast as, I don't know, the miseducation of Professor Griff. Talk to me. Come on. Meg the Scallion and the rest of these people, man. M&Ms and, you know, candy-coated popcorn, peanut enterprise. Who else did they get? They was pulling people out of the damn woodworks. They had Beyonce show up. For what? Like, to do what? To the tune of $1 billion? Come on. All right, I guess for my last 10 minutes, I could go to the comments and maybe y'all could talk to me. Because yeah. In the meantime, while y'all thinking about this, if y'all, this has been canceled also, one of these nights with the Soul On Solid State Radio and the Rebel Live Experience. That has been canceled also. All right, so, yep. And for the people for the concert in Capitol Heights, Maryland, all right, you will be refunded within the next, I think, 2 weeks or a week, 2 weeks, week to 2 weeks. All right, you should be getting your refund. All right, okay, for the few people that did pay in advance. What policies did they put forth? The civil rights legislation was passed by people voted in office to put forth those policies. What policies? Oh, yeah, you're right. They had Obama try to shame black people. Who else? They had the Boule crew, I call them. The D.L. Hughley's and the, what's the other fake funny dude? What's the character's name on the radio? Ricky Smiley. I think that's his name. Yeah. Who are the other ones? They had a whole Boule crew show up. Just like got out of a bus. It pulled up and everybody got out. Kamala this, Steve Harvey. Yes, all of them. You said they CIA assets? Okay. Trying to shame us. Black women, some black women lost their goddamn minds. I seen people crashing out on the internet. I'm like, God damn, y'all took that shit that serious to the point where you're losing your mind like that. Y'all need to go lay on somebody's damn couch. Thank you very much, A Freed Mind. I'm glad you said it. The Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. He said rappers didn't even bother to remix the songs. Damn. He said Jay-Z and his wife turned up. Operation Mockingbird is still in effect. Let me put that up. You're absolutely correct. Operation Mockingbird is still in effect. If you're sitting back right now, and I'm saying this at the end of the broadcast, believing that the system will work for those whom the system was designed to destroy and neutralize, you have deceived yourself. Damn, there was relationships that ended? God damn. People broke up with their husbands and wives because of this? Never, ever, ever. Yeah, I could believe that. I almost lost a couple of friends until they came to their goddamn senses. Yeah, straight up. I had the index finger ready to block their ass. Like, you can get away from me with that, for real. Trust. Some women are shaving their hair. Some women are crying, talking about shooting. What? Talking about shooting people. They arrested a dude for saying he was hired to kill the president not long after. God damn. Damn. Wow. When I saw them people spazzing out and kind of losing their minds, damn. All right, family. Now is the time for us to start at least training, getting back in shape. I already sent the word out to my 40 and 50 and 60-year-olds. All right. Start getting back in shape. Seriously. I'm offering private, underlining the word private, self-defense classes and firearms classes. All right. Okay. Get your mind right. Let me see something. Do I have something in there that'll help people get their mind right? Hold on. I do. I'm sorry, I had to step away. I do. I have something to get your mind right. I got some serious mind's brain tonic, and I'm gonna put a red tassel on it for you. All right, I'm gonna put the label on it for you. And I'm gonna put the tassel on it for you. I'm gonna have to put the tassel on it like that because once it's sealed, it's sealed. The Serious Minds Brain Tonic. Go to my website, www.professorgriff.me. All right? You got to get your mind right. I'm not saying this is going to make you smart, but it'll help you clear up some of that brain fog where you can think really, really clear, family. Seriously. I wouldn't be saying it just to be saying it. You need to, seriously, some of y'all need to just stop for a minute, stay off social media, hit the reset button, and come back to your senses. All right? Set you up an ancestor altar and set you up a quiet place in your home where you can sit down for a minute with no cell phone, all right, so you can think, all right? Sit quiet for a minute, wherever that space is, make sure that space is clean, all right? And one day we need to do that. One day we just need to come on and help people set up their ancestor altar. Is that a good idea for everyone? All right, cool. Family. Hopefully this Sunday, I'll be able to give the free firearms class to everyone that sent me the email on Serious Minds, info@gmail.com. I'll be able to give the free firearms class. All right. What's today? Yeah, I think Sunday, if y'all would agree, would Sunday work for everyone? The free firearms class? I think everybody's home on Sunday. The only thing that's coming on is the damn football game. That's it. No, I didn't see what Brother Aleem said about the elections. Send me the link, Red. All right. Is that cool with everyone? The free firearms class this Sunday? Give me a thumbs up, something. Let me know. What's up with the resurrection formula too? Oh, no. Hold on. I'm going to leave this right here. I got that one. I already had that one labeled and bottled up. The resurrection formula also. Matter of fact, I'm going to have to do a separate show on this tomorrow. Just to let y'all know what these two consist of. If that's cool with y'all. All right. The resurrection formula, brothers, you got to get this. All right. If it ain't happening 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, if you're not doing what it's supposed to do, then we need to talk. All right. And of course, this is for everyone. All right. Clear up some of that brain fog. We'll talk about these tomorrow. But is it cool for the firearms class? I need to know that because I need to prep for it. All right. All right. It's almost time for me to get off of here. I hope I spent my time wisely with everyone. I hope I didn't waste anyone's time. I hope we elevated the level of our thinking into the mind of the Creator. All right. And of course, y'all already know I love y'all to life. Please go to www.professorgriff.me. Please support the cause. Purchase one of these two, Resurrection Formula or the Serious Minds Brain Tonic. And Kwanzaa is coming up, so make sure you get this for your babies. All right, now you know. And of course, you are the song that you sing. If you're in the Atlanta area, the Thursday, December 5th, I'll be doing a lecture at Greenbrier Mall with my sister Nia at Madhu Bookstore. Madhu Bookstore at Greenbrier Mall, family. Do I have that flyer? Can I put that flyer up? Let me see if I got that flyer. Let me see. Let me find out. Hold on. Let me find out I got the flyer. I might have it. I don't know. It's just the right one. Mark the date, though. If you're in the Atlanta area, I think this might be the one. Yes. Hold on. I think that is the one. Now you know. The 5 Elements of Hip Hop with Professor Griff. Lecture and book signing. Thursday, December 5th from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. That's a Thursday. 2841 Greenbrier Parkway. All right. Madhu Bookstore. It's their 34th anniversary of being in that place. All right. Please come support the sister. I will be talking about this book, and we're going to get a whole lot deeper because we're going to talk about the spirit of the pronunciation of words and how words come out of your mouth using the English language. We're going to talk about spirit, vibration, resonance. We're going to talk about the 432 hertz as opposed to the 440. We're going to dive into the whole idea of the essence of hip hop, the 5 elements of hip hop, and the idea of hip hop being written into our DNA. All right. We're going to discuss this. So pass the word that Professor Griff is going to be at Greenbrier Mall December 5th at 4 p.m. at Madhu Bookstore. All right. All right. So for my last minute on it, thank y'all very much, fam. Really appreciate everyone for joining me in this conversation today. It was just a beautiful discussion and just right off the cuff. I mean, it's just something I felt that we need to discuss. And thanks to my brother, Door of L. Really appreciate you. It's one of those things where you can disagree and you can kind of move the conversation and the idea of the conversation forward, as opposed to agreeing to disagree and we just stay stagnant. Neither one of us are going to stay stagnant, and I appreciate him for his conversation. All right. Anyway, I love y'all to life. Professor Griff, I'm out. Peace. Peace.